Hey YouTube, how's it going? I'm Trey Blue, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create a sponge plugin. Now, if you don't know what a sponge plugin is, you can read about it all on the spongepower.org website, which has a pretty nice about page, forums, bugs, all that good stuff. Alright, so before you start, you need to make sure that you have the Java JDK installed on your computer. You can find that at this link, which I'll have in the description, as well as this link, which I'll also have in the description. So basically what you want to do on this site, you want to accept the license agreement and then find your operating system. I'm on a Mac, so I'd click Mac, it would download and I'd install it, and then everything would be good to go. So once that is installed, you may have to do a computer restart just to make sure that everything set up correctly. But once you have all that done, you need to go to this link, one more link. I will have it also in the description. And this is where you actually download the Sponge API. So right now, I would just click on the 1.0, the safe, stable release. If this is in the future, this download link probably will be outdated and stuff. But for the time being, you need to go here and you click on this, find the Sponge API that you want to download. So I download just this one. You don't want to download the MD5s and the sources and all that. You don't really need that right now. All we need for the purposes of this tutorial is that one. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and then it'll be in my downloads folder. Now I'm just going to drag that off to my desktop so I have it for safekeeping. The last thing you need is IntelliJ IDEA. You can find it at jetbrains.com/idea. And once you're there, you can just click download IntelliJ IDEA and go to the download community version, which of course is free. I mean, if you really want to, you can get the free 30-day trial of the Ultimate Edition, but I would just recommend going with the community edition because that's what we're going to be using for this tutorial. So if you ever get confused when you're making a Sponge plugin, I would recommend going to docs.spongepower.org because here is the Sponge documentation, which tells you all about how to create a Sponge plugin, how to set up your workspace, how to do events, API, Forge mod, all this good stuff. It also gives you some links to like the Sponge forums and issue tracker, Twitter, and all that good stuff. Now the last and final resource that I'm going to be showing you today is the Sponge API Java Docs. Now this is basically a list of packages, a list of classes, and description of methods and classes and stuff like that in the entire API itself. So if you ever get stuck or don't know how something works, I would refer to this resource to basically figure all that out. So without further ado, let's start making the plugin. So now that we have the Java JDK, IntelliJ IDEA, and the Sponge API all downloaded and installed properly, we can go ahead and start making the plugin. So let's start off by right-clicking the IntelliJ IDEA application and opening it. So once this loads, I will show you the next part, which should be pretty quick. Yep, it's pretty quick. Now it's notifying me of an update. I'm just going to close that out because I don't really care about that. And now the next part of this is creating a new project. In order to create a project, which you can think of as pretty much like a Sponge plugin, all you have to do is click on, under this quick start menu, click on the create new project button. So once you click that, it'll bring up this menu, which you want to choose Java in the left hand corner if it isn't selected already. And then you want to make sure that your project SDK is actually pointing to something. If it says none for some reason, you want to go over to here to this new button, click on under this setup project SDK window. You want to click on the JDK button, which has this little add symbol and coffee, whatever. So you want to click that, and it should automatically open you to this special home directory under whatever JDK that you've installed. But if that doesn't work, just basically look at where I am on my machine. If you're on Windows, sorry, I have no idea where the heck it should be. But if you're on Mac, which I am, go to this exact directory, or it may be different because this is dependent on what version you've downloaded, but basically you want to go to the same relative directory as this, and it should basically bring you to this this folder, and then you want to go ahead and click choose, and that's pretty much the end of setting up your thing. So I already have 2 of them now, so that's not really a problem. I'll just select the first one because it doesn't have the one after it. Not really, doesn't really matter, same thing. And now I'm going to go ahead and click next. So now in this really doesn't matter. We're not going to create from any template because we don't really need that. If there's like a Sponge template in the future, I don't know. I doubt it would ever have that. But basically just forget this for now. So we're going to go to the next menu. And right here, this is pretty important. This is where you specify your project name and project location. So the project location, this user is named tutorial. I just created that on my thing, my computer, so don't worry about that. But basically we want to name our project something, I don't know, first sponge plugin. And you'll see as I start typing in this field, it automatically updates this field with the last directory name changing to whatever this is. So the name of this plugin and the directory that it's in right now is fine, so I'm just going to keep it like that. You don't really have to mess with what's down here, just forget about all that. This is pretty much the same thing as that, just a little different, just forget about it. So you're going to click on finish, and this should start creating your new project. So my project stopped or finished creating just a second ago, and there was a window here that said like welcome. You can go ahead and just click the close button on that. That does not matter at all. Got it, whatever. Close out everything. So now I'm just gonna scale this up so you can see it a little bit better. And now basically you'll see in the side we have this project window with a drop down that you can view packages, project files, all that. Just go straight to project. Inside of here you want to double click that and go right here to the source. I forgot to mention before that you need to know at least a decent amount of Java to continue on with this tutorial. So if you don't know Java, you want to go to youtube.com/user/thenewboston. He has some great tutorial playlists. One of my favorites being the How to Make a Beer playlist, which I would assume would be a lot of people's favorite one. But anyway, you want to go to the Java Beginner Programming Tutorials playlist if you don't know anything about Java. You want to watch through some of these tutorials and get a basic understanding for how to basically program in Java. Now, once you have all that information, you can continue on with this tutorial. So the last thing that we need to do to basically finish setting up our project is we need to right-click on this module, or that's what it's called at least, and you want to go down, all the way down to Open Module Settings. Now you want to click that, obviously, and it should bring you right to your module settings for this module. Now inside of here, it automatically brings me to dependencies, but you may be somewhere else, so just click on dependencies. And then right here you want to go down to this plus button, not this new thing because that's the SDK. You want to go down to this plus button, click it, and click jars or directories. Now this is going to have a ton of stuff depending on like your machine and stuff and how much files you have on there. Basically I want to go to my desktop and click on this sponge API-1.0.jar. Now I'm going to click on OK, and that will add the sponge API.jar that we downloaded before. Now this may be in a different directory. It may not be on your desktop for you, but for me it was, so I just went there. Basically what you want to do is you want to just navigate to where that is, add it, and then you'll be good to go. So you want to click on apply, and then once that's all grayed out, you want to click OK. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this first tutorial on how to set up your Sponge plugin workspace. If you really enjoyed it and you want to see the next video and be notified when it comes out, please do subscribe and like the video if you liked it, obviously. And I will see you in the next tutorial, so goodbye for now.